Welcome to the Lawson Brothers podcast. It is episode 8, I believe, James.
That's the word on the street. And the only thing that we know is that we still don't know anything.
Yeah, we want to continue to remind you that we're here doing this because we believe iron sharpens iron, straight from Scripture. And hopefully that as you listen, you might hear something that might sharpen you.
I really appreciate the feedback we've gotten from people. The Crocs and cowboy boots segment from last episode got some feedback. I got a text that morning from a guy that said Crocs all the way. There was some comments on YouTube about camo Crocs, and I was actually wearing my camo Crocs when I saw that comment, so that made me laugh. Anybody on the cowboy boots side of things yet?
No, but I did get a suggestion.
Oh, Braden says he's cowboy boots all the way.
Team cowboy boots.
Do you have cowboy boots, Braden?
I used to. I had a cowboy phase.
Braden had a cowboy phase. Really? You wore the belt buckle and everything? You know, when I was in middle school, that was the thing. Everybody wanted to be a cowboy, like 6th, 7th grade. And so everybody went and bought the old school Wrangler jeans with the leather like Wrangler patch on the back, you know? And so I distinctly remember, like, I would wear cowboy boots and tight Wrangler jeans.
I've always felt
12 years old.
I've always felt like Wrangler pants.
Never ridden a horse in my life, you know.
Wrangler pants, they say on the waist like a certain number, but they're always like 2 or 3 sizes smaller than that. I always have felt like that.
That's why cowboys walk the way they walk. They're just uncomfortable.
They're just uncomfortable.
And they're too small pants.
I got a text today at 7:06 about the Crocs conversation, and it was a picture of a pair of Crocs on the ground that says, "Remind me to tell you a great tornado is coming. Got to get my shoes." Story. This is from Lisa Provost. So
there you go. I've heard that story. Actually,
I've
heard that story. Yes, I've heard that story.
Here are Matt's Crocs. They're like
there
blue.
You go. There you go.
They totally look like the coastal version of a camo.
There you go. Yeah, I've heard that story. I think maybe Meredith told me that story one time.
Really?
It's a good one.
Here's another quote: "Crocs are superior footwear."
Superior footwear.
We got that. And then there was one more that I thought was really funny. Oh yeah, I asked. I got a phone call from a great friend, Richie James. Richie called, and I said, "Richie," and we talked for probably about an hour, 40 minutes or so on the phone this morning. And I asked him, I said, give me your top 3 reasons why Crocs are superior to the cowboy boots. And he gave me 4. Number 1,
there you go.
He said, they're lightweight. 2, you know Richie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
2, very durable. 3, super comfortable. And I quote, you don't have to break them in. Put them on, and you know this is it. 4, and he said, definitely that shoe. So... got a lot of great feedback. Oh, and we did have somebody suggest us, Meredith, to consider, suggest for us to consider the Birkenstock.
The Birkenstock.
The Birkenstock.
And I think you're wearing Birkenstocks right now.
I am wearing Birkenstocks, yeah. I am.
As you said a few weeks ago, the dogs, the puppies.
Your toes?
Yeah,
talking about your toes? Not the puppies.
They're out.
We're letting the dogs out.
The dogs are out.
The dogs need some fresh air.
Dogs are breathing.
Dogs need some sunshine.
You're also wearing bright yellow shorts,
Dude.
Which, I mean, you know,
I've tried.
As the kids these days say, you do you, boo. But yeah,
I'm not going to apply that. That's not iron sharpening iron at all, saying you do you by any stretch of the imagination.
It's not a good way to live your life.
But I did.
Neither's yellow shorts. But
do you remember when I got these?
I do. And
I got these last August as soon as I came down here because I went to the outlets with you and Tara. It was like the first thing we did when I got down here.
It was like back to school shopping for the boys and our third child.
Third child was doing some
Sam Lawson,
some moving to the coast
but
shopping.
Can I just highlight real fast? I will never forget that day because the things you were buying, I was like, what are you doing? You bought those shorts.
What?
You bought a pair of like lilac purple shorts. Did you not?
They're not that color. They're like
what would you call it? Periwinkle?
No. It's like if an orange
That's right.
a plum had a baby. If an orange and a plum had a baby.
It's like a peach almost. It's nectarine. Plums are purple.
But they're more neon than I know. That's why I'm saying orange and plum combine them. Maybe no, that's not quite. I don't know. I need my
Orange
color
and-
wheel. I
Orange
need
and
my
purple
primary
together
color
makes
wheel.
like brown.
Does it? What color would make like a neon?
It's like a bright orange.
Might be a grapefruit color.
Grapefruit.
They're kind of
grapefruit.
So
you brought
if you cut up in a grapefruit
shorts, and you bought 2 pair of jorts.
I've been wearing those for a long time
A
now.
gray pair and a blue pair.
They're Levi's.
They're weird.
And no, they're not, dude. People love them at Coastal Coffee.
No, they don't. They're like
They do.
No, they
When
don't,
I
they
don't-
know what
when
else
I-
to say.
when
They're
I
like,
don't
why?
wear 'em-
Why are you wearing those?
When I don't wear my jorts, people like regularly ask, "Where are the jorts?" I'm like, they're at home, man. Everybody needs
Braden,
everything needs a
I
Sabbath.
just want to clarify.
Even my jorts need a Sabbath.
You are the guy in Coastal who is known for his jorts.
Hey,
Everybody's got to be known for something.
I'm wearing my jorts. I'm rocking a camo steel hat, like the chainsaw
Yeah.
company.
Yeah.
Steel. I'm wearing a camo steel hat. I wear my brother. A guy said to me one day, he said, "Where do you get all these cool hats from?" So I'm doing something right, dog. Jorts and cool hats.
There you go.
And
There
a
you go.
Coastal
There you go.
Coastal Coffee employee.
Goodness.
Hey, shout out Coastal
Shout
Coffee.
out to Coastal Coffee.
Go get some
I'm
pastries.
still waiting on the sponsorship.
If
There
we
go.
get
There we go.
1,000 downloads in a month, we can get a sponsor. So
There we go.
challenge
Shout out to Coastal.
accepted. Coastal
Coastal
Coffee, we
Coffee.
want you to
Good coffee.
sponsor us. I do think that we can endorse Coastal in this way.
It's a good place to go.
Go get some coffee. Go get some blueberry
Blueberry scone,
scones.
baby. Blueberry
Go get
scone.
a cinnamon roll, which ironically on this podcast is spelled S-I-N, cinnamon roll.
What?
They are.
Really?
If you look at the menu, they're spelled cinnamon roll,
Is that,
S-I-N.
is that like supposed to be like a play on words, like a pun kind
That's
of thing?
exactly what it's supposed to be because they're like 4 inches deep and they're like drenched in this pool of
So they're
beautiful
sinfully
frost.
delicious.
Oh, sinfully delicious. Yeah. You've never
I don't
said
know,
something
can we
like,
endorse that?
huh?
Can we endorse that on a podcast?
I just did, bro. Go get a good cinnamon roll.
Y'all need to pray for Sam. He needs to repent. Look, hey,
Cinnamon rolls are good.
they are good.
And
they are good.
I can eat those things all day long. I'd be sick as a
Jeff
dog.
Case, do you hear that? Jeff Case, get on that.
Oh,
all right. Hey, so let's jump in.
Wait. I was about to say something. I was about to say something really funny.
Was it funny?
Yes, it was.
Say it and see if it's funny.
But
Say loud.
it lost me. I lost it. We lost each other.
There you go.
It's like a heartbreak. You ever make a joke and you're like thinking it's about to be fun? Oh, I guess you do that regularly because you're a
happens all the
pastor.
time. It happens
Because you're a
all the
pastor.
time.
You make a joke and you think it's going to land and it doesn't.
What did I say Sunday? We were reading. I was recapping some of John to lead up to Jesus' statement, "I am the light of the world."
But that was funny though.
People didn't laugh. It took a second, and then they laughed.
It-
Oh, that was funny.
Because you said that was funny.
Yeah, because I thought it was funny.
Look,
Nobody
you're the
else
kind of guy. Let me teach the listeners something about you.
okay.
Can I?
laughed. Go for it.
All right. Here's James in a nutshell. James is the kind of guy that if you tell a funny story, Kevin Hart, hilarious guy. Kevin Hart.
I don't think we can endorse Kevin Hart either.
All right. Then Jeff Dunham.
I'm not sure that's even better.
All right. John
better.
Delaney,
Who's that?
another comedian. Braden probably knows
Braden's
John.
like, I don't know. Don't go there.
All right. Let's just take the
We're gonna get like a parental advisory.
We'll take
label on this podcast.
Justin Timberlake from
not-
SNL, Jimmy
Okay,
Fallon.
there- well,
Well,
you're getting better.
dude, they're funny guys. Jay Leno, whoever, Conan, whoever you want to put.
That's funny.
We'll put one of the funniest people, Shaq. Take Shaq and Charles Barkley.
Shaq and Barkley from inside
Shaq and
the
Barkley,
NBA.
yeah, and Kenny Smith, and then
Ernie.
Stephen A. Smith. Throw them all in front of you, and the funniest person could tell you a story, bro, and it be the most hilarious thing. And with a stray face, you'd be like, "That's hilarious." No reaction, no laughter, nothing to
true.
follow.
I have fun.
And so
I
people
laugh all the time.
look. I'm just teaching the listeners about telling you stories. Sometimes you might. Who's funnier between James and me?
Sam is. Sam's funny.
I think.
The question was Braden in the background. I hope so. Hopefully you can hear it. But if you couldn't, Braden asked, "Who's funnier, Sam or myself?"
Oh, what
Sam-
do you think?
Sam's funnier.
You think
You're
I'm funnier?
Yeah, you're funnier.
I think I have my funny.
You're
moments.
naturally funny. Like, I'm not naturally funny. Like
Yeah.
I have to think to be funny.
See,
You're just funny.
But when I start thinking about being funny, I'm not funny.
No, because you say dumb things.
It's like, why are you talking still?
But you've always been funny. Like as a kid, you were funny.
Was I?
You were hilarious. Yeah.
See, I don't have like any memories of being younger than 5.
Probably
I'm serious.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Some people talk about like remembering things whenever they were like 2 years old, and I'm like,
Oh, that's all right. But
how?
So hang on.
I didn't even talk
Pause on that because that's actually where I wanted to go in just a second.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious. So let me make a confession from last week real fast.
Are you serious?
So
right now?
last week I made a comment.
That's where I wanted to go.
No, seriously. Last week I made a comment that everywhere Dad has been in his life, he's encountered somebody he knows.
Oh.
And I told a story about Dad meeting somebody in Fargo, North Dakota that he knew. And we were quickly corrected after that episode came out. Our mother shot us a group text and said, actually, it was not your father that knew somebody in Fargo, North Dakota. It was me. And it was Mom's like middle school English teacher's son at the Fargo airport that she ran into. And I was first off like, how do you know who your middle school English teacher's son even is?
Yeah.
And why is that person in Fargo? Like, what are they doing?
What are they doing in Fargo?
At the airport in Fargo, North Dakota, from the mountains of North Carolina. Mom, where'd you go to middle school?
She did not go to North Dakota.
No. She was either in North Carolina or Liberty, South Carolina.
Well, she went to Liberty High School.
I don't know when they moved to Liberty.
This is bad. This is another confession.
I don't know when they moved to Liberty.
We need to ask our parents about their childhood and then remember the details.
All right, so let's
Oh, another confession to Mom. Remember when she told us a little while ago that both of us need to be nicer to each other? She said, tell Braden to quit telling them to be mean because both of them need to be nicer to each other. So,
that's funny.
Love you, Mama. Braden's smiling in the background right now.
That's funny.
All right, anyway.
So that brings up an interesting question. Why is it that we remember what and how we remember? You ever thought about that?
All right,
because like you're saying like you don't remember things from before you were 5. I vividly have this memory of the Dad in Fargo being like, oh yeah, I ran into so and so that I knew. But it wasn't Dad; it was Mom. Like, but I before Mom sent that text message, I would have been like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, that's exactly what happened."
This is a deep conversation.
Okay.
And let me ask really quickly,
okay,
because I won't be able to move on from it until I ask you. Do you remember stuff from before you were 5?
I don't know. Because see, sometimes I think I do, but then I wonder. Am I actually remembering the event, or am I just remembering what I think I remember because I've seen photos or heard stories?
Now, that's also a conversation. You know? How many memories are created by photos, by videos?
Or like how is, well, that's another question.
This is a psychology thing. We would probably need Caitlin Libran, honestly, right now, because even this, like, you can convince yourself something's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Without ever talking to anybody, without ever experiencing something.
And it's like how, you know, how different people can talk about the same event and have completely different recollections of how it happened, what happened, why it happened. And part of that's like a perspective thing, you know. It's like it's like the old saying, like if two people describe an elephant but from different ends, you're gonna get very different descriptions of that elephant.
So let's bring this up for fun.
Okay.
This is inspired by Richie James, and this is perfect for this conversation. I did not have any way of telling Richie this is what we're talking about, so I need you to come up with a beautiful example. All right, let's see if you and I have the same memory about this event.
Okay.
When DeAndre Nuke Hopkins trucks you running into the end zone after catching an interception.
Yeah. I mean,
in Pickens High School.
I've seen the film from that. I know exactly what happened.
Were you expecting that?
No, I wasn't. No, with Richie, I was thinking, but that's one of Richie's favorite stories. Richie loves that story.
He does love that story.
Was he there? I guess he wouldn't have been there. No, he wouldn't have been.
No.
Why? How's he even know about that?
Probably because you told that story to your youth in Pickens.
Probably so. Yeah.
But also, Richie spent a lot of time with us, too. And we've had plenty of time to have long conversations on the road with Richie.
So do you mean tell the story?
I want you to tell it, and then I want to tell it from my perspective.
Okay. So the characters involved. Myself.
Yeah.
On the other side of the football.
Set the scene. Set the scene.
This was senior night my senior year of high school.
It's been 2009.
2009. Yeah, that's correct. 2009. Tara, who is now my wife, would have been the co-captain of the cheerleading squad on the sideline. And that's important.
In
That's
Bruce
important.
Field.
At Bruce Field, Pickens, South Carolina. Historic Bruce Field.
Yeah.
You could watch the ball game from the Walmart, or not the Walmart, the Walgreens Arby's parking lot up on top of the hill.
Yep.
Or you could sit in the stands, either one. But it's great place to play a game. Great place to play a game. We're playing Daniel High School, senior year. And I mean, honestly, we were not that great senior year. We started out like I think we were 4-0, and then we lost the next 6 games. It's not the way you want to go out. But we're playing Daniel High School. They've got. They were not as good that year as they had been in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times when they would roll out a defense that would have multiple. They literally had multiple NFL players.
Shaq Lawson.
Well, the year before. No, I'm sorry. No, Shaq was there. Shaq would have played that night.
I know.
Deshaun Williams would have played that night. And then Nuke, obviously, DeAndre Hopkins, who's now. Well, Shaq's playing is he playing for the Bills still?
I don't know if he's still playing for the Bills, honestly.
He's playing somewhere. I think.
Who was the safety? C.J. Davison?
No. Cannon. I don't know what happened.
Antonio Cannon.
Yeah. He was a great wide receiver.
He's a good basketball player, too.
Great basketball player. I don't know what happened to him. And I think Deshaun Williams is playing somewhere still. Anyway, and then DeAndre is obviously wide receiver, phenomenal athlete. He's probably the most talented of that group. But anyway, in high school, DeAndre played defensive back. And so we were playing, they were beating the brakes off of us that night.
Do you want me to remind?
I know what the score was. It was 70-7 was the final.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. But this was probably third quarter. This was third quarter. And we lined up, and it was basically kind of a double tight end, 2 wide out, single back look. And we called it was a double slant flat combo. Backs, I think my guess is probably blocking to the left.
Probably blocking your backside.
And so anyway, I mean, it was pre-snap, make the read, see where the defense is weighted, and throw the opposite way. And I remember the play. We were on the left hash.
I'm sure you did.
Boundary was tight. So I was like, I'm gonna throw the slant to the field, fit it in behind the linebacker. Problem was DeAndre Hopkins was the field corner. And our receiver was good, but DeAndre was better.
DeAndre was better, yeah.
And he beat our. I mean, you can watch. There is film of this available. He literally takes the ball out of the receiver's hands, and then it's on because if you've seen him with the ball in his hand, he's hard to bring down. And he was hard to bring down for us that night. And so it ended up being DeAndre at about the 10-yard line going into the end zone, and the only person between DeAndre and the end zone was me. I don't like to tackle people. That's why I played quarterback. But in this moment, I was like, I can't let him score. I got to at least, make an effort. And so I did, and he ran over me like it was a train hitting a hay bale or something. And so I just, he hits me at the goal line, and I crumple, and he scores.
Let me, from my perspective, I remember this. All right, we've all like pretended to be a bowling ball running into something stationary.
Yep.
When I was a kid, I remember my neighbor and I used to set little Hot Wheels cars in the middle of the driveway and drive by them on our bikes, pop a wheelie, and smash the Hot Wheel with our front tire.
Yep.
We'd do it over and over again until we drove the tire through the Hot Wheel. I'm not saying that DeAndre was the tire and you were the Hot Wheel in this metaphor, but
basically
when I just remember, and this is I remember it, it's vivid in my head right now. You squat down on the goal line and just sit there. You're planted.
I was.
As if you're about to stop a full sprinting DeAndre Nuke Hopkins with a football.
Yeah.
You're on the goal line. Come here, DeAndre. Put your head right. And he does. He put his head right.
He could have gone around me, and I would have made an effort.
That's what I don't understand.
But he didn't. He went right through me.
Well, y'all been playing some ball for
we played against each other from 7th grade up.
Yeah.
He's always a nice guy.
Yeah.
But I will. You remember what happened next?
No.
I don't know if it's next possession or shortly thereafter. We ran a play that we ran over and over my high school career called Pancake.
I remember
strong
that.
right, Z short 492 post. Essentially, was the call. And DeAndre bit, and we threw one over his head, and it went for the touchdown. It was the only touchdown we scored that night. But hey, that was how we went out.
There were a lot of good competitions between Pickens and Daniel.
I mean,
Not
I don't know if I call them good. There were a lot of, or even competitions. We played a lot against
he
them.
played a lot. Anyway.
We didn't win ever
Anyway.
in anything.
Pickens did. I did. That was kind of Daniel to you was like easily to us when I was coming through school.
Yeah,
Like we just didn't like some. We had players that left Pickens to go play on this Easley team.
Yeah,
And
we
I
never
remember
beat Daniel. We never beat Daniel. We beat Easley.
we should have beat Daniel my senior year of high school. It was 28-27.
I remember that.
I called
Yep.
a touchdown. Well, I'm convinced it was a touchdown, but falling out of the end zone at
I remember
Daniel
that. I remember that.
and drug my toes, and place was going crazy because we thought
called
we
it
scored,
incomplete.
and they called it incomplete.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just literally calling that incomplete because Dabo's sitting right up in the stands right now, and his son.
All right. So
Anyway, I need to be quiet.
no,
I need to be quiet.
all right.
That's
So
not the goal right now.
let's move from high school. We're living in the glory days.
Living
you know?
it. No. I was
But-
going to say. I remember
go ahead.
the story at Bruce Field that night that you got trucked by Nuke. I was sick as a dog, sitting in a car with the flu.
Were you really?
Yeah,
I remember that.
Cole and I were both sick in the field house side of the stadium.
man. Okay.
Sick with the
Okay.
flu in a car.
I don't remember that. I do remember that. I do remember. Now that you say that. Yeah.
What did that have to do with what we were talking about?
Memories and why we remember what we do, how we do. And I think that's an interesting conversation, interesting question, because some things we remember in a more positive light than they happened.
Yeah.
But then other times we have a tendency to dwell on the worst moments and, let those memories that are long in the past continue to shape and define our present. And it's just, it's interesting. So when on an example for like the best, Tara and I took the boys to Disney. If you've ever taken little people to Disney, there are a lot of moments in there you're like, why are we here?
Really?
What have we done? But then when you look back at it, it's like all you remember is like the good, because it was one of those for the boys, like a core memory that they'll remember. For like Noah remembers Disney trip at 3.
Oh wow.
And like he's not remembering from photo. Like he can call memories and moments, and
That's amazing.
it is like, and he like we were watching. He was listening to like the Toy Story soundtrack the other day, and he was like, "Oh, this is the song the Army guys played at Disney."
When he was
talking
3,
about,
or
talking about the green Army guys that walk around with the drums, and
I don't know what you're talking about actually, but
anyway, but for him, it's like there's some memories there that like he does actually remember.
Huh.
So like that's an interesting way that your brain works, where it like suppresses some of the not so good and remembers the good, but the other can be true too.
I wonder how much of that has to do with our developed comprehension.
What does that mean?
I'm just making those words up to describe the fact that I think I was
Our
I
developed
think
comprehension. That sounds so official.
I know. But what I was trying to say is that I think that even with like reading and stuff, sometimes it takes people different speeds and different like people comprehend things at different rates
Right.
based off of age and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that like a true thing or is that not true?
I mean, like you learn to read, and
You're a great reader, so I'm probably not. You're probably not the person to talk to about that.
Are you saying like what?
I'm saying like, all right,
What a 5th grader can read and what?
let's talk about the difference. Let's talk about one difference between you and me, right?
Okay.
All right, SAT, right? When you're reading a story on the SAT, you're like soaking all of it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just own it.
Yeah.
Own it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, me, I'm not. I got to read that Joker 3-4 times
You think
to
in
like
pictures.
remember the
Yeah.
main character's
Right.
name. I'm serious.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
got to get asked a question like, all right, now what's the best of the following answer choices to describe the relationship between the main characters, blah, blah, anything. So I'm wondering if like any like comprehension things have to do with like, our ability to remember things, and
I'm sure.
if people comprehend at different rates, do they remember things in different ways from different ages and all that kind of stuff?
Well, what you're saying is that different people think and process differently.
Yep. Thanks for summing that up.
Some people learn visually. Some people learn by hearing. Some people learn by doing. And there's like official words for all of that, but I can't remember any of them right now. But
I don't either.
But different people, learn different ways. That's why some people love podcasts and some people hate them. Some people love to write things down. Some people love just to like sit and watch and soak it in.
In class, like in high school, did you prefer to? Would your preference be to be told by a teacher, "Hey, spend the next 30 minutes reading in silence," or spend the next 30 minutes reading along to an audio book and you have the real book in front of you?
I think I learn best like either listening or like reading, seeing.
Seeing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you prefer the audio?
I think either one. I mean,
either one.
I don't know. I've always been able to like I can hear information and it sticks, and I can read information and it sticks. Like I don't necessarily have to do to make it stick for me. It always stuck, like books always stuck better with me whenever there was music playing or something in the background. Okay. And I could read while music was playing. Yeah. Or while I had a book following along flipping, and then the audiobook's playing and reading what I'm reading aloud, like playing for me, you know what I'm saying? Okay. What words are in front of me. I also, and then this is just learning types, but I've got a question to ask you in a second about it. Okay. I would really, really memorize stuff with a book. Like if in English class in high school, we would say The Crucible. You know what I'm talking about? The Crucible. Like if you're like given a role in it and you're like told, hey, this is your role, act it out, I would soak up like the whole story at that point in time, because it's like, all right, so my feet are in the shoes. So here's the question. I mean, we've spent a few minutes talking about like memory and why we remember what we do, but like why is this an important question to consider? Like why is this even worth
talking about?
Yeah, why is this worth and why is this worth, say somebody's listening to this on the way to work. Like why is it worth taking a moment to consider how you remember and what you remember and whether or not even, what you remember is actually what actually happened.
Right. I love it. And I'm just going to respond with a question.
Okay.
How will you impact somebody? How will you know somebody well if you don't take the time to consider how they think about things? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I was just thinking.
That's my answer. It's rhetorical.
Do you know what rhetorical means?
Yeah, it doesn't need an answer.
Okay. Good job.
Dude. I nailed that question on the SAT. What does rhetorical mean? There's only one answer from that.
So you don't mean to answer your question?
Yeah, I mean answer the question. Yeah, you can go for it.
So it's not rhetorical then?
It's a rhetorical question.
Sometimes Sam just says big words just to say a big word.
It's a rhetorical question. If you choose to let it be a rhetorical question.
Remember when you were like 14 and you started saying the word audacious all the time? Because we went to a camp and the theme of the camp was audacious.
If you walk down to my office
Sam
right now,
used the word audacious like in every other sentence for like 3 years. Right. It didn't matter if it fit the sentence or not. Sam was going to say the word audacious.
This is exactly what this podcast is about. Our memories of things. Yeah. See, I have a different memory of that. That camp was 6th grade.
Yeah.
We were in student life camp in Daytona Beach.
Myrtle Beach.
Daytona.
Not 6th grade.
6th grade was Daytona. Chris Tomlin, Chrissy Knuckles. Promise, bro. We ate at Aunt Catfish's.
Okay. Go ahead.
We did.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm talking about?
I believe.
They're pictures. We were down there, and the theme was devoted.
Okay.
I'm right.
Okay.
It was when Chris Tomlin did the How Great Is Our God version, but he brought in all the well sounds and like the atmospheric solar system sounds and stuff of stars like rotating and just screaming out there in outer space, right? And the next year's theme, the following year's theme was audacious.
Yeah, that was at Myrtle Beach. That's what I'm talking about.
And I was like, what does that word mean? And we had like these little blue devoted bracelets that I wore for as long as I could after that. But mom and dad, for my next birthday, they got me a poster and had written on it. No. This was senior in high school. They gave me this. They gave me this gift in high school, my senior year.
Yeah.
And it's actually on my office wall.
Okay.
And it's the poster, the theme poster for that student life camp, and it says audacious on it. I think.
Maybe.
I think to our point that memories. What?
I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick.
Okay.
Braden is going to the potty.
All right.
All right. All right now. All right.
But I really don't remember where that was going. Oh, different memories and stuff. But no. Answer the question. So I think you asked why is it important to talk about how people remember things? Because I think when we're trying to relate to people, we can sometimes be so quick to talk and give our own opinion to somebody that we think is counsel to them, that we think is helpful, that we think would be beneficial, before we even ask, why do you think that? Or why do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Or what happened to make you remember that interaction like this?
I forget who said it, but somebody said one time that we are the sum of our past experiences.
Yeah.
You know, which basically, to simplify that, the person that I am today is a direct result of where I've been, the people that have influenced my life, what matter. But we're shaped in a sense by both what happened in the past and how we remember it.
I think there's some truth to that. I think that for people who have not met Jesus, that might be more of a reality. But I think that we have to be careful not to just claim I'm the victim. I'm the victim of all these things. And
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that for everybody, regardless of where your faith is, I think that's more of a reality than we would like to admit. What I mean by that is, all right, so say your past is not ideal, which none of our pasts are ideal. We've all got areas of brokenness and wreckage in our lives and our past. And, even for Jesus followers, we know that by the grace of God, we've been forgiven. We've been set free. Like, we're a new creation in Christ. Yeah. And yet the pull, the tension, the reality of our past is still there.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, I know this is true, but yet I also know where I was. And so, it totally reframes it a little bit as a follower of Christ. But I don't think that necessarily means it all just goes away.
No. And I love what you said Sunday morning in your message too. And it was a great challenge. And maybe it's a challenge that we can leave people with today is to, a couple things. All right. One, we need to be students of our past. We need to learn from it, pull from it, identify why things happen a certain way. And then today we need to be able to filter that through Scripture, through God's way of thinking. That way we can process it and apply scriptural truths to it, right? But then also we need people. I need people as a man in the 21st century. I need people that I can confess my sin to, that I can talk about the real stuff with, that I can be lifted up and encouraged by, but also people that I can at times encourage and lift up as well. Yep. Because we do live in a place that is messed up in this world, and we have people all around us every day that have questions, that are searching for explanations for why things in their life happen the way that they did. And what does God say in Romans 8:28? He's working all things out for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. Yeah. So let's be students of the things that He's working out.
So maybe here's what came to mind as you were saying that.
Yeah.
If we let it, our past will become a pattern. Whether it's a pattern of thinking or a pattern of behavior, this is what always happens. This is how this always goes. This is always how I respond. And the opportunity on the table for all of us is to let Jesus break the pattern of the past.
Amen.
And to rather than just repeat what's come before, rather than just go back to who we used to be in Christ, there's the opportunity for growth. And, growth is not always up and to the right like we'd always like to see it be. Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 4 steps forward. It's like it's the ups and downs. But in Christ, growth is possible.
What happens with a cherry tomato plant?
I don't know.
There are limbs that you literally have to prune, that you got to cut, cause pain to the plant. As a gardener, you got to cut things to allow growth to take place.
John 15.
Yep. Abide, baby.
There you go.
Abide. Hey, thanks for tuning in today to the Lawson Brothers podcast. There's one thing that we know, it's that what, James?
We don't know anything, but iron does sharpen iron. And we're committed to letting God shape us and grow us. And so thanks for being on this journey with us. We hope you've been encouraged today. Have a great day.
Yep. Have a great blue flame
day.
That's right.
See you next week.
See ya.